All right, so we're back here, ready for the semifinals. We're going to look at AJ Lino playing the America mid-range Delverless Delver tempo deck. And he's going to be playing against Aubrey Reese, the black-red player we've seen a few times on camera.
That he's, moved on to the semifinals, whatever. I'm going to put the link.
And Aubrey leads off with the Grave Crawler that we can see there.
Yep, and he took 2 to do it.
He sure did, so he'll be at 18.
We'll get that updated in a second here. We're
spreading the word. And the tapped hollowed fountain pass. And he takes the opportunity to get a guild gate down. Attacks for 2, so each player will be at 18.
Yeah, so I don't want to toot my own horn here, but Aubrey Reese was like, "So what should I play for this tournament?" And I was like, black red aggro.
I don't know how in tune to the metagame he is at the moment, but it's a deck especially strong for very technically sound players that maybe are a little out of the format too. But I definitely, mastering the deck obviously just makes it better, even better. So it is a very good. Each player is at 18.
I just want to throw a quick insult out there.
I think AJ
sometimes
is at 14.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I come across a control exclusive player. They only play control, and they'll tell you that they're a good player because they play control.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people who can make an aggro deck like 10 times scarier than it typically would be. So I think the point that they miss sometimes is that, like this black-red aggro deck, they're like, oh, it plays itself. It's just autopilot. Well, it's so powerful, and decks like that sometimes are just so powerful that they can autopilot.
Wow. The combat step, Think Twice, allows AJ to miracle a Terminus off the top of his deck, putting the Diregraph Ghoul and the Geralf's Messenger on the bottom of the graveyard. So
yeah, that was pretty lucky.
Very timely card draw there for AJ. And Aubrey can only lay a Diregraph Ghoul and pass the turn with, I think, 2 cards left in his hand.
Yeah, that was really good for AJ. I mean, but that's why he runs it, right? I mean, that's the goal.
How many copies does he run?
I'm gonna venture to guess 4, but let's take a look. And
it's Aubrey.
Dana. That's Dana.
Well, we have to locate that deck list here for AJ. But as we look, there's going to be a Dissipate for a Grave Crawler from AJ.
Yep, 3 Terminus, so.
And are we miracling in Entreat the Angels?
So it's probably only like a 1 in 20 something chance that he hit the Terminus on that.
About a 1 in 40 chance on this Entreat the Angels, but well, was it cast from his hand? No, it couldn't have been. Yep, he just didn't have the land when he drew it, so he gets the miracle for 2.
2's a lot in this matchup.
2 4/4s is a lot in this matchup. Another Geralf's Messenger for Aubrey, though, who just refuses to stop playing gas out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think AJ could make the mistake of, just trying to go balls to the wall with these 2 4/4s.
Yeah, turning them sideways too soon. Or ever, which might actually be too soon.
Right. He's looking for the other miracle.
Not a miracle, but it's as close as I think he can get with an artifact.
Yeah.
So Runechanter's Pike was the draw for AJ. He's going to go ahead and get it out there. That's going to help his Angels live through blocking a Geralf's Messenger after the Undying trigger. And here we go.
Yeah, no, he's going balls to the wall.
AJ is going to attack.
And gain 8 life, yep.
Yeah.
That's, we're We were talking about that earlier.
If you're gonna turn aggressive with those guys, that is the, often the least used mode on Azorius Charm, and potentially the most powerful, especially in a situation like that, as AJ's back to 18 life to Aubrey's 10.
I mean, I think that made the difference because, right, he has a Thundermaw Hellkite in his hand, right? Or is that yeah, it's Thundermaw Hellkite. So potentially next turn could have been lethal for him.
Yeah, he would have been dead if it was, and it is a Thundermaw Hellkite. The crippling blights that I'm so fond of in Aubrey's deck.
I'm pretty sure Aubrey's just dead right here, right? So maybe the math was just better by AJ than it was by me, and it was.
Well, we didn't really know. We didn't know about the Azorius Charm, but nonetheless, AJ gets there for game 1.
You're right. I was wrong.
And it only took a couple of miracles there.
Yeah, I mean that Terminus was that was it. Like the entreat was obviously beautiful and icing on the cake, but clearly he had the crippling blight. So, if that Terminus doesn't stop that 5 damage, that puts AJ before he gains that life at 5, and then those guys both are still in the field. Like I don't see any way he wins without the Miracle Terminus. He's got to feel pretty good about getting away with that one.
I actually think the winning play, I don't think there's any other way he wins that game if he doesn't attack for 8 in lifelink.
Yeah, no, well...
If he makes our play and stays defensive with his 4/4s, then they would all be tapped by a...
Well, I don't know about with both of them, but I'm thinking maybe swing with one, equip the other one to have the first striker. Yes, if he would have had the Thundermaw Hellkite that turn, he would have lost anyways, but...
Yeah. So the players are moving to their sideboard. Aubrey's showing off how long he's been playing the game a little bit with his Mirage stickers.
Well, he's been playing forever. Magic the Gathering is what they call a CCG, meaning collectible card game. So some guys really emphasize the collecting part of it. I mean...
Yeah, I'm typically not one of them myself. I usually go to events and try to cash out on my collection as best I can and leave myself in a good position to be able to play again. But I don't know. I'm usually poor.
Yeah. Well, that's a reality for a lot of people playing Magic. I mean, it's not always cheap to play. But then you have other people on the opposite end of the spectrum, and they got some money to play with. They don't want a 4-wheeler or a boat. They want some sweet-ass Magic cards. You know what? I've been coughing in my arm all day. I can cough in your face.
Hey, we're going to mute the audio here, talk about our possible trivia question for this round, and we'll be back in just 1 second. Don't go anywhere, and don't forget to get the word out on the social media outlets, Twitter and Facebook. Let people know you're watching. If you know anybody friends with AJ or Aubrey, I know my friends back home love it when I get to play on camera. So I'm sure they'd appreciate the heads up. All right, so we're back here. Aubrey leads off the game with a Gravecrawler, and AJ with a tapped Hallowed Fountain. Do not believe Aubrey's going to take 2 for that Blood Crypt. He does not. And typical fashion for his deck, AJ is not going to do anything here. AJ's got a Drugskull Reaver in his hand, I think. It's an interesting card we really haven't seen played for quite some time.
What did you say it was?
A Drogskull Reaver.
I think that's way too late to play against this deck.
Yeah, but if it's not good against this deck, what's it good against? If he gets there, it's an unbelievable house until it gets Crippling Bladed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never sideboarded it in any of my decks, so...
And suddenly AJ's the, I don't know, the aggro deck here. As he gets a Geist of St. Traft on the board. Good luck Crippling Blading that one, Searing Spearing it. None of it's going to work. And it could be another very relevant lifelink mode on the Azorius Charm with 6 power that Aubrey really can't do much about.
Right.
Well, we'll go ahead and get our trivia question out there. Remember, guys, you've got to send a private message to the Game Core's official Facebook page. Aubrey Reese plays a Hell Rider and gets 4 damage in. We'll go ahead and send that message to the Game Core Facebook page. Be the first one to do so. Unfortunately, if you've already won a gift card, you will not be eligible to win again. I can't remember. Ed was, I think, his name?
Eddie Stewart.
Yeah, Eddie Stewart. Unfortunately, you will not be eligible for the second gift card or the third one. But nonetheless, congratulations on getting one. And here we go. So what card did Leland Bliss top deck to beat Vincent Tundo in the last round of Swiss on camera? So if you were watching, you saw it. And let's see if you guys can remember what card it was.
I'll give you a hint.
No.
I called it.
So we see AJ battle in here with the Geist of St. Traft. Perfectly happy to trade 6 damage for 4 damage over and over again.
Yeah, and I think it was the right play, not doing the lifelink with the Azorius Charm.
I don't know that he has one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think, though, that he would be better off putting the Hell Rider back on top for a
Yeah, to kill a draw, make it even harder for Aubrey to answer the...
Make him use his mana for something that's not extending his board.
And if he does that, I think the Hell Rider would have to stay back. Like Aubrey would be playing a Hell Rider and not attacking with it. So this could be a quick match win here for AJ Lino. Although Aubrey's not quite done, just dropping some haste, guys. He's going to go ahead and attack for 10 here, which knocks AJ down to 2. And suddenly the aggro deck is back to indeed being the aggro deck. And I think we saw the benefit of a Cavern of Souls to keep that from being counterspelled. And AJ's going to play an end of turn Restoration Angel. Not getting much value off of the ability, but here he goes. He's got to have the charm here. If he's making this attack, attacking for 6, 7, 8, 9, and he's going to lay a Snapcaster Mage to block. Oh, okay. There's an Azorius Charm in the bin. So we're going to have to send somebody to get a life total check. I'm not 100% sure exactly what happened there, but I'm assuming there had to have been a flashback on the Azorius Charm.
What is it? Does that put him 1 away from lethal unless he plays something?
Well, we know Aubrey has a Searing Spear in hand.
Oh, then that's
so if
game.
that's the case, Aubrey's going to get this game and force game 3. He also just drew a Falcon Wrath Aristocrat.
Well, let's see how greedy he gets.
Well, Aubrey really likes to win with creatures
He
as
likes
opposed
to win
burn.
big,
So
actually.
yeah, he's.
I asked him about that in between rounds. I was like, so we thought you were going to kill your opponent. Okay, yep.
Oh, Hell
He
Rider.
wants to win as big as he can.
So what are the biggest, flashiest numbers I can do while my opponent's tapped out? And the answer is Hell Rider number 2. That's 6 damage just from the attacks, plus another 6, 12, so 17. And we're headed to game 3, as Aubrey pulls a game out that I don't think we thought he could get.
So, checking these Facebook answers, we see that one Miss Kitten has changed her profile picture in the short time that we've been live streaming. Are we like 3 a day here?
Well, we have only one answer submitted to the trivia question, so maybe we're taxing people's memory a little too much. So we've got one answer from Scott Kernu, Archwing Dragon, and Scott, nobody's played an Archwing Dragon on camera today. We all know how you love your fun cards, but unfortunately, that's not gonna get you a gift card today. And we're gonna have to give him another hint.
They don't know these things? It's not Snapcaster names. It wasn't ambush.
Yeah.
I think just the fact that it was in play at the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if people will pick up on that.
No, I don't know. But
we might need a bigger clue than mentioning that they just saw it again in this match. Because unless you directly tell them that it's a clue, you might talk about it and they don't even realize that it's a clue.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if that warrants any additional.
No, wait.
That's.
Leanna.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, look at that.
Leanna. I'm not going to try and pronounce either your middle name or your last name, but Leanna, I promise you won the prize here. The card was Thundermaw Hellkite, and I believe Tundo has stormed off in a huff and doesn't want to speak to us anymore since we brought it up again. But no, he's obviously fine. But congratulations, Leanna. Go ahead and make sure we get your information so that way we can send you your gift card.
So are there any guys watching the stream today? Wait, with Scott.
Other than Scott?
Scott, yeah, we got Scott.
Scott and Eddie?
Scott and Eddie, yep.
Well, the Magic community is definitely growing as far as female players is concerned. So.
All right, yeah, we got Brad Money's on there. Hilarious.
So everybody's taking their turns, taking pot shots at Tundo in chat there. That's good. But in all seriousness, no, thank you guys for watching. This is the semifinals going into Game 3. AJ Lino against Aubrey Reese. AJ playing a red, white, blue mid-range control hybrid deck. Snapcaster Mages, Charms, Dissipates, some card draw, but he's also still got Geist of St. Traft, Thundermaw, Hellkite. He really flips the switch pretty fast, from going and playing an aggro tempo game to surprise, swing for $1 million. And as we saw, he can gain some serious life with his Azorius Charm.
Yeah.
So making use of the hand cam as best we can, trying to look at AJ's hand. He's got, I see a Tameo, a Restoration Angel, a Snapcaster Mage.
Kind of looks like a Syncopate, but
There's a Think Twice in there.
Oh, like as a clue?
No, that's his answer. That's his guess.
And we're going to get this round started as we move back to the main screen. Tapped Hollowed Fountain for AJ, who is on the play. Drew a Feeling of Dread, not a card that I'm particularly fond of in the format at the moment. I've seen it do some great things, and it really does get some work done against those hasted guys when you're not quite ready to take a 9 damage beating or whatever it is from a...
Well, I think what it does is it improves the value of your sorcery speed wrath effects. You know what I mean? Because now if you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to prevent you from swinging with that Hellrider and your Diregraph Ghoul, now next turn I blow them all up.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you get to flash it back, so you actually get to do that twice. And then the next turn he's like, Vulcan Wrath Aristocrat, tap it.
Yeah. Well, the Think Twice draws AJ a card here. Second Feeling of Dread in his hand. Now, facing 3 guys, though, so not sure. He's probably going to hold it for some bigger fish that he has to fry later on. But
I just want to throw out there, Patrick Chapin wrote this article that's been getting a lot of shares about basically political correctness in the Magic community. And when I'm looking at the chat here, we have a deadly peanut.
we do.
Now, for anybody that could go into anaphylactic shock while eating a peanut, we would just like to apologize and let you know that we don't actually have the opportunity to approve these usernames. So this has not been condoned by GameCore, and if there is any offense, we apologize.
So we're going to get a life total update here.
Yep, AJ is at -5.
Yeah, I can't imagine Aubrey's actually at 10, considering AJ hasn't really played anything yet. So looks like it's just a flip-flop here. And AJ's at 10 life, Aubrey's at 20. That's a hasted guy. I promise you that. I think we're going to start to see some Feeling of Dreads in action here. AJ doesn't really have much choice. His back's really starting to look like it's against the wall. I have not seen a Divine Verdict. So before attackers are declared, it's going to be a gain 5 life play here. So AJ's going to take 4, go down 6. And really, you know, my problem with Feeling of Dread being I want more sweeps. I want, you know, I feel like AJ could make some use out of Mizium Mortars, even if more often than not he is simply using it as a 4 damage, 2-mana removal spell. I think the fact that it has that mode is underrated, and I think that that's a really, really powerful card in a format that's pretty well defined by Restoration Angels and Thragtusks, all of which do fall to the 2-mana.
I guess in his deck, you might as well just have Fog right now, right?
Yeah, Fog is generally situationally good in random occurrences, and you know, honestly, some of the Bant decks I've seen actually play Fog. But another 2 copies of Feeling of Dread.
Well, what does Aubrey have in his hand here?
There's a Thundermaw Hellkite there at bare minimum.
So he just really needs to push 1 more damage to then be like, oh, so you have a...
He could have a burn spell for the end of turn, which in reality he wouldn't need the Thundermaw Hellkite. We talked about how Aubrey...
Game 2.
This is
game 3, right?
It is game 3.
Wow. So Aubrey with like a complete reversal after that game 1.
Yeah, and Aubrey also has a Pillar of Flame in his hand, so he does have a little burn. Obviously can't cast the Sorcery Speed at the end of turn, but there's the land.
I mean, he's got 4 mana times, yeah. So that's
right. So he wants to use that burn spell to finish him off here, because the Gravecrawler, the Diregraph Ghoul that don't get tapped down and make it through, put AJ to 2, and then Aubrey can save the Thundermaw Hellkite for once AJ is essentially out of answers or out of abilities to answer something. So we do get the Snapcaster Mage in there. Aubrey probably kicking himself a little bit, not playing the Thundermaw Hellkite, but I don't think it's going to be a big impact move here.
Yeah, I think the fact that this puts him at less than 5, anything that he wants to do to stabilize isn't going to deal with the Thundermaw.
Yeah, the only real answer to it is an Azorius Charm to put it on top of the deck. Only buys you a turn, not really a winning proposition. So apart from Flashback Think Twice, top deck.
Well, I think he needs to still burn him right here, because that puts him to 2. That makes it so that Terminus only is the answer to Geralf's Messenger, rather than...
I think the main reason to do it is, he opts not to, and I'm pretty okay with it. I think I do it, though, just to make another Pillar of Flame a lethal card off the top of my deck. Or a Geralf's Messenger, and you don't need to attack. So if your opponent is packing that Fog...
Yeah, I mean, let's say that he wants to play the Thundermaw Hellkite next turn. I mean, he's not going to be able to tap for the...
They do need to be visible. I mean, you're not allowed to actively hide it, but unless Aubrey says, you know, I'm curious how much land you have.
He could just be trying to be courteous to the hand cams, because a lot of times the players aren't aware that we're not using them anymore, or at least we're not using them often.
So what? All right, so we're going for that Terminus here.
Yeah, and I think if he hits it, Aubrey's going to be kicking himself.
He does not. So.
All right, Aubrey Reese, on to the finals. Congratulations, Aubrey Reese.
Yeah, Aubrey is going to move to the finals, as John said.